Good afternoon. Floodwaters 3 metres deep in the centre of Lismore have cut the city off, forcing the evacuation of residents and livestock to higher ground. Richard Fitzgerald reports the Richmond River broke its banks after 3 days of non-stop rain.
The waters started rising through the streets of Lismore late in the evening. Shopkeepers worked frantically to get their carpets and fittings to high ground, but for some it was too late. Thousands of dollars of stock was ruined. It's now 1:30 in the morning. It's very cold and very wet. I'm standing in Magellan Street, which is one of the major streets in Lismore, and we're told that the waters are now rising at a rate of half a metre an hour. The Richmond River rose during the night to around 11.5 metres or more than 35 feet, spilling even more water into the streets. Boats replaced cars as the main form of transport being used to evacuate 10 people and ferry others to work.
Richard Fitzgerald. A 24-year-old man appeared in court today charged with unlawfully using an aircraft after a light plane collided with a fuel tanker at Noosa Airport yesterday. John Rigney of Sydney in Noosa Magistrates Court also faced 2 charges of willful damage over the incident.
The court was told Rigney got into the 12-seater Nomad after midnight yesterday and managed to start the engine. It was alleged he taxied 50 metres before the aircraft slammed into a mobile fuel tanker parked on the tarmac. Police say the tanker and the plane were extensively damaged as one prop continually struck the edge of the vehicle. They allege Rigney suffers from a mental illness. He was remanded in custody until Monday, when the court will hear evidence from his father, a Sydney doctor. Lincoln Howes, Eyewitness News.
In New York, a cocaine-crazed gunman held 4 hostages and a neighbourhood prisoner for 30 hours. Armed with pistols and a submachine gun, he holed up in an apartment block. John Wiseman reports one hostage was freed, a 4-year-old girl.
It began mid-afternoon yesterday. The man burst into a Harlem apartment. The little girl, her father and 2 teenagers were taken hostage. A woman escaped. High on cocaine, the gunman continued shooting sporadically. Throughout the siege, the gunman apparently continued to use cocaine, to the extent that the drug was making him physically sick. But then, as the siege dragged into its second night, the gunman gave ground, at first surrendering one of his weapons. And then, after 30 hours, the drama ended. His 4 hostages walked out unharmed. The gunman surrendered to police. John Wiseman, Eyewitness News, New York.
Back home, in future, police will be able to issue caution notices for minor traffic offences instead of a ticket. Police Minister Bill Gunn says the cautions are aimed at producing better driving attitudes by warning motorists of simple mistakes. Police Commissioner Sir Terence Lewis says the notices will carry the words "caution only" and "no penalty" written on the ticket. Currently a warm 26 degrees outside. We'll have more news for you in an hour.
Chances are, whatever you do this weekend, you'll need Ken Brown.
I'll give you South East Queensland's best weather.
Ken Brown, your weekend weatherman on TVO Eyewitness News.